and impacts of Governor Godwin Obaseki in the making of Edo State, one of Nigeria's leading economic centers, with expanding infrastructures, creating shared opportunities into the future. Today, we start with bold reforms in education and changes therein.
We met a situation where our first training, what we met on ground were also a system where teaching had become so deprofessionalized. You look at a teacher, you can't tell if they're educated. Some of them, the way they would dress, even up to issues of personal hygiene. We also met on ground a very large inventory of dilapidated schools. Schools that had been done under the Red Roof Revolution. Quite a number of them, by the time we came in and started doing the census in 2017, had practically crumbled like pieces of paper. The ones that had not gone bad had been vandalized. Between Oredo, Ekpobara and Ego, the level of vandalism was as high as 70%, if not more. And so what that meant is that the Alumaco, during the Red Roof, they used Alumaco windows. The ones that were not vandalized were destroyed. So you are putting glass windows in the primary school with little children who play rough. So by the time they are jumping up and down, playing football, these windows were, broken. Those are some of the things we meant on ground. So we had to go back to the drawing board to say, given our reality, what are the durable materials we can use in our schools? So those are some of the things we meant on ground. Teachers selling in school. The extortion was also very high. That was part of what we meant on ground. Illegal collection of fees. Some of our teachers were now selling things in school. I remember, I will never forget, I walked into a class one day in the rainy season. It was raining apparently. It was raining that day and it was quite cold. And I saw these little kids in the class shivering and licking those the homemade ice creams that they pour inside the cellophane. And their noses were running. They were obviously distressed. They were cold, and yet they were still sucking on ice, which is what those locally made ice creams are anyways. And I said, what is going on here? Teacher, why are you allowing this? Oh, they wanted it, she didn't. So where did they buy it from? Oh, they went outside somewhere to buy it. So I went to one of the little kids. How are you, little boy? Where did you buy your ice cream? He pointed to the teacher. So the teacher sells the ice cream, and if they don't buy, she will beat them. Yes. So many of them like that. Some were selling exercise books. I went to schools where the teacher is the one selling the reader, selling notebook, selling biro and pencil. If you don't buy, they will beat you. We have to stop all that by putting policies in place. But some people
cost much, much more on the paper qualifications rather than on learning itself, on education itself. So we found the solution in technology. A technology that had been tested and proven in some other parts of the world. It wasn't cheap, but because of our commitment, we decided to. We negotiated hard, we did all the things we had to do in the last 1 year, and we were able to strike a deal. And that is the result of what you are seeing today. That is one reason why we are committed, whatever it will take, to make sure that every child who finishes basic school in Edo State has the capacity to not only read, write, but to think clearly and logically and can do anything they want to do after basic education. This is a pilot for the first 300 schools. It is very important that the communities take ownership. I know how much we spend renovating schools in Edo State, but if you go around today, almost all the schools have been vandalized. You must let me know, let government know when people encroach on school land. We now have what we call a fencing squad. We are going to fence all our schools, and anybody who has built Their houses in a school premises, please, that house now belongs to that school. Because I am going to fence that house into that school. We have done it in Benin Technical College already. If you have built on school land, we want to thank you for your donation to the school. In order to ensure that these children come to school, we are going to be working with local governments to set up what in some states they have called educational marshals. If a child is found loitering when they should be in school, that child parents will be arrested and fined. On that note, I have a singular pleasure and privilege of launching the Edo State Basic Education Sector Transformation, EDOBES. Congratulations.
Understand my safeguarding responsibilities. Whatever happens to my students outside of school is my business.
Do you know that in our Adobe schools, learning is no longer confined within the four walls of the classroom? With Adobe at home, learning extends far beyond the schools to homes and communities, and that is the power of technology.
We are grateful to the Governor, Godwin Obaseki, for recognizing the vital role teachers play in building a sustainable education for the children of the state. We love you, Mr. Governor.
Edo is different. Our governor is special. I am so happy this transformation in the teaching profession has started in my time. We have made great improvements.
Let them acquire knowledge and skills to be relevant, to be able to help themselves, and to be able to survive in an increasingly competitive world. I know of Edo Best, which has made a lot of...
On to that state. Governor Godwin Obaseki's bold reforms in education in Edo State, giving rise to winning ways, fresh optimism, and a new balance sheet of thanks to Obaseki.
Edo